Battle control initialized.
Hey people, 5 Aces here. To paraphrase Jack Black, these are not the Season 7 RHL playoffs, this is just a tribute. What happens here is all the top 4 players are battling each other, but not in the playoffs just yet, because just like good top 4 elite Pokemon trainers, they have saved their battles for last. So these battles all determine basically just the placements of who gets to fight who in the top 4. These, disclaimer, these have also all been streamed on NetNascal's stream. So I highly recommend checking out the VODs to see some live coverage, because let's be real, for those of you who haven't seen it, NetNascal is a great streamer but doesn't get too much recognition right now because he's streaming very irregularly. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's introduce our players in the bottom right. Aggression is the name, Aggression's the game, Happy's the name. Yep, that's him, Happy, the man, the legend, with the unsatiable hunger or lust for aggression and violence. Spawning as France. I don't think this is gonna go into late game. Any game against Happy that goes into the late game has you fucking up somewhere along the way. That's just the gist of it. And his opponent in traditional green, it is Orb. Orb, the vice champion of Season 6, so I'd say slightly favored here. But anyway, let's dive into the game. He's driving a wedge straight into this. That's been nice positioning. Oh, firing blindly into the FOE. So, positional advantage here, and repositioning is Orb as well. So right now, with a little positional advantage, those little skirmishes in the early game can just snowball into the mid to late game. Let's see. Also, bolstering his forces with a medic. It's a very smart purchase there. Just 200 to keep his boys topped off there. And Happy, traditionally someone who just goes batshit aggressive. Against anyone, against anything. That's just his style. That's his jam. So let's see how it's gonna fare against the very defensively and tactically oriented Orb here. Now getting pushed back, getting driven back, and his engineer needs to hightail it out of there. He needs to find some safer waters. Those are very treacherous waters indeed. So he's trying to go for the capture on the backline, Derek. It's a bit risky. And yeah, the map, we haven't talked about it. This is Fury Sands by Eskimo, I believe. Fury Sands 2, so the sequel. Electric Boogaloo. And this is, I think, one of the least played maps in RAGL. To paraphrase JC Denton, what a shame. Anyway, this is gonna net Orb a double Derek advantage, and definitely no way to contest this for Happy outside of a Chinook rush, because why the hell not? Those are buried in this crevasse here, in this little ridge, and it's super interesting because those Dereks can be sniped over the ridge, but they can't be captured over the ridge. So it poses a high risk, but also a potentially high reward due to double Dereks there. And they're close to your natural. Ranger versus Ranger, uh-oh. Orb's engineer is treading dangerous waters here. Ooh, he has been revealed and is going frontline. Full-on frontal assault. Uh-oh. This guy's dead. What? Oh my lord. Right, the medic just patched him right back up. Pertains to what I've said about unit preservation, but there is now Happy in position with an infantry force. And no, you don't want to capture this. That's right, son. That's right. You better book it. Right, so no one gets an advantage on these Dereks, but it leaves Happy with being able to being forced into destroying his own Derek. So it's a position you never want to be in. He's gonna lose a lot of his early game pressure there. Also losing the Ranger while Orb retaining his Ranger is a massive deal. This is gonna net some juicy kills. Also Vet 1 has now unlocked the drive-by ability. So good night, Lucy. The early game straight and firmly in the hands of Orb here, with the medic as well. I would like to see just a service depot rush into a mechanic so he can patch up his Ranger. That would just be the sickest play there. But doubt it's gonna happen. So much value being found. The pillbox here, not just in range yet. Ooh, Ranger getting dangerously low. And only a couple rifle snipes being found here, so all the expensive infantry have been retained. Orb is just in a commanding position after this early game. Insane. Still rallying infantry forces into the mill here. 5 harvesters should be the same for Happy here. Yeah, 5 as well. Plus a slightly earlier MCV timing, like 5 seconds, but that won't matter usually. Patching up his Ranger, that's gonna matter though, because that's gonna give him just intel. Just a positional advantage, knowing where his opponent is gonna be, unless the Ranger keeps getting blocked by the MCV, a little traffic congestion there. Yeah, also double oil derrick advantage is something you never wanna neglect. Oh, yikes! I almost missed that. that's been a backline engineer from Orb, hunting for more. Nice! Got a rebate on the Oilderry. And here's the Ranger. Here's the line of sight advantage that the Ranger provides here. Look at this. Yep. Easy game, easy life. How do you even come back from this? I want to see the combat tab here. This is a 4.6k advantage in assets killed already. So that might also mean a 4.6k asset lead. Not yet, no, okay. Oh, that's because Orb is floating almost 6k. Never mind then. While Happy is playing it fast and loose. Oh, the Ranger, a bit too deep. Happy's been playing it fast and loose with his money, just as always. The Engineer is still there, by the way. He's gonna net some kills. And the Ortruck's getting chunked, getting pummeled by the turret. I really like that Orb went for an early turret there. That just means that he's gonna have pressured all the tanks that can come out, because that's like the only thing that can crush an expansion in the mid-game, in the early to mid-game, is like 1 or 2 tanks. If your opponent hasn't reached critical rocket soldier mass just yet. And just like that, fantastic position here. Happy still has his eco back up, but he's forced to relegate here. And he's probably going to be forced into taking the north. That's a very, not a very resourceful patch here. Not yielding many resources, what I'm trying to get at. Alright, a little push with a couple tanks here, a couple of rockets as well, but so many infantrymen. And that just pertains to unit retention. He has just retained so many of his early units, and like his earlier infantry. Oh, double war factory. That's just a way to cement a lead in a game. Instead of going radar, if you go for double war factory and just spam so many tanks. No way. He captured the refinery as well. Yikes. Yeah. So that's just a perfect way to cement your lead. If you go for double war factor, it just means you can pump out so much steel that your opponent basically can't deal with it, because he needs to contest with your infantry pressure as well, and yeah, it's just a snowball downhill from there. Snowball turning into an avalanche. Speaking of which, eco transfer and the asset lead is gonna swing. This is gonna be brutal. So far, only a 3k lead, so like the window is still not fully closed just yet. Okay. So Happy does have, I'd say, another shot to take in this game. One more shot, but if he misses this shot, do not miss a chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. And a massive delegation of units, and that's not a diplomatic envoy. That's just a big FU. It's just a big invasion force there. Like the Skrin, Orb just taking it slow and methodically. He knows he's in the lead. He's got 3/4 of the map, basically. He's got good map control. He's got the Derrick still retained. And this little push here on the main base, nah. If he gets a couple harvesters, so what? So what? He can still have pressure. He can still outscale. Okay. That's Happy investing into a Hail Mary play. He knows he's behind. He needs to go radar. And that's something he doesn't like doing, by the way. Happy is like one of the most stalwart defenders of tank play only. So if he goes artillery, it's either a desperation play or a big middle finger. Anyway, base has been revealed. This army has conversely not yet been revealed. And a massive push. This should be easily dealt with. Yeah, there's just enough infantry from Happy. He can also spam. No, he can't spam base defenses. He moved out his Coneyard. So build construction ranges only up until here. He's not allowed to engage into this. No. You should make the line of sight advantage work for him. Happy's usually someone who plays smart aggression. This is just... okay. This is just an entirely different level. This is just pressing the go button and seeing what sticks. This is not the smartest play I've ever seen from him, to be very honest here. Force firing into the middle. He wouldn't have had to engage into this army. He could have just let them come at him with the line of sight from behind and the firepower from the artillery. Also, Radadome going down, so no more artillery production. Helipad, that's his only one as well. He invested into an AA gun. Right, so he's got 2 artilleries to make this work. I doubt it. I press doubt. My lord, he's forced into taking so many bad engagements there. Behind, that's his only hind there. Jeez, he can't rebuild a helipad. So this is basically just a glorified scout vehicle. Yikers! Down goes the service depot as well, so... eliminating any and all chances of a comeback here. Yeah. That was an easy game for Orb. After the early game, after just separating and spearheading his forces and driving a wedge into the enemy forces there in the early infantry skirmishes. Orb was just in a commanding position and he never gave away his 2 Elderics. He forced Happy into killing his own Elderics. Yeah, rough game for him, but let's see if Happy can turn it around in game 2. I'll see you in a sec.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
Which, given the fact that I'm still pretending to be in a runaway sentence, is played on Warwind, a map that has somehow, against all odds, found its way back into the map pool. That was one of the first creations of So Scared alongside Sidestep, which is the most popular map in the map pool, I'd say. Yeah. And accompanied by one of the least popular maps in the map pool. Not RHL map pool, but just the regular one. Because Warwind, I think, is in the official release still. Yeah. So, Orb is going for England this time. I think he randomed it. Happy sticking with France, so not very patriotic. If I were in his shoes, I'd know that none of my games would go to late game tier 3, so I've always just picked England just for patriotic reasons. But no, he's defected. He's defected over to France, of all things. There we go. Yeah, France now being the stronger faction after the rebalance, after the country or sub-faction overhauls, which, by the way, I'm hoping there's going to be another one that makes England actually great again, with replacing the useless spies. So anyway, no Soviets, and that means no dogs in this early game skirmish, and I think neither of the players know... never mind. They know each other's factions, so yeah, allies. Okay. So both knew that there was not a risk of dogs, but still no one risking anything there. And that's gonna be a double ref for both, I'd wager. No, wait. Happy is way ahead in the build queue. That can mean one or two things. Orb slept on the job, or... oh! It is a War Factory first indeed. That is one of those builds that can really pay off on big maps, especially where you're not prone to being rushed, but especially against Happy, who is known to play hyper-aggressive. Well, let's just put it that way, bottomless greed precipitates the fall of empires. Let's see how this goes, but it's got a pillbox queued up, I guess. I guess it's a pillbox and not a wall. Wall segment would not come in handy. Oh, reveals here. I think both went for... oops. Yeah, both have a pillbox queued up, so just safety first. Good old safety first play, and 20 infantry being rallied into the middle by Happy. So that means he's going to go very aggressive very soon. And conversely, I think that must be a harvester. Second harvester for Orb. Into maybe a light tank. He's also opted for keeping one of his 5... okay, he's only 5 stack back, so he played very conservatively with early game infantry usage. Yeah, there it is, and that's very fast. That's maybe a ranger, I'd say. So anyway, 3-4 rocket soldiers already. This is gonna be very juicy, unless the ranger finds some good snipes. Wow, up to 3 ore trucks already. His ore refiner placement is something I really don't like. 2 refineries on a small patch, that's not gonna yield much. Oh, but he's gonna find so many snipes. He's gonna catch the rocket soldiers in transit. Now, the light tank is here to ward this off, but yeah, you can't, unless you migrate picture perfectly, like frame perfectly, the ranger can dance around you, yeah, keeping him out of range. Light tanks, it has recently been discovered why they're so weak, it's because 4 cells range. Oh my goodness! Ah, a free drive-by! Also another rocket snipe. He's giving out free hand jobs there, basically. Oh my lord. That was not supposed to happen under any circumstances there. He's not opting to repair the ranger now. What is Happy doing? Why is he rallying his light tank in there? What? That was his trump card. That was here to ward off the ranger. Now the ranger has, well, free reign. That was a very questionable play indeed. And there's going to be the first medium tank out now. Well, to be honest, if Happy now loses the entire infantry force, I wouldn't be too surprised. Ooh, that's a bit too deep. I wouldn't be too surprised. But yeah, this ranger, definitely worth the investment. Super, super strong early game, and Orb just has those timings down to perfection. Only 1 rocket in here. Oh, that's king. This tank, my lord, with a perfect crush here. This tank is allowed to go on a rampage. Rampaging its way through the early game infantry of Happy. Jesus Christ, that didn't go according to plan at all. This is gonna be plan B mode activated for Happy. He is scrambling to get something done here. Scrambling to get his infantry mass back up. Oh my lord, this one timing tank, and oh, yeah, Also recapturing. So smart. I think he retained his original engineer, he didn't lose it. So no unnecessary investments being made there. There is his first expansion out, and Happy is just now moving over with his MCV. Happy on 5 harvesters. 5 here as well. But the early game advantage is just gonna be massive. Yeah, 2k lead. Okay, 2k lead and 1.5k in the bank for Happy, so assets could be even potentially. So Happy just more aggressive in his spending habits is probably why. But there is a big push onto the main base and basically no defenses ready. It's like he's got a pillbox ready, but he hasn't fortified at all. And his rockets are just now starting to trickle in. That is way before this infantry blob reaches critical mass. He's also gonna get picked off here. Ooh. Another MCV. What is this build here? Happy, being behind, went for a land grab build. I think he just tried making amends for his horrible early game by going super greedy. Going super greedy with an additional MCV there. Did not pan out for him at all, and that's gonna be the War Factory down. Is there anything happening on the right-hand side? No, sir. Alright, War Factory taking the beating. Those crushes, formidable. Formidable, I'd say so myself. But the wreckages are gonna provide some shields for them. Oh, wow! Those were surprisingly effective there, but that's gonna mean one more harvester dead. Another one could bite the dust just here. Yeah. Another Zook shot tracking. One more shot from the tanks, one more volley. But the War Factory stands strong. What's the eco like now? That's... oh my lord. 3 harvesters, one of them just working off of basically moonshine instead of kerosene or gasoline or whatever they're using. Ah, it must be gasoline. Oh, and Orb with his game sense, with his impeccable game sense, just knowing the harvester had to be relegated to the northwest, finding the snipe. His game sense so far has been amazing. Also patching his tanks back up. He's someone who is extremely good at unit preservation. Goes to show why he's vice champion in Season 6. Yeah, no mining to be done here. Jesus Christ. Happy is on 2 harvesters. He is making do on a shoestring budget right there. That's a shoestring budget if I've ever seen one. Probably a bit of an aggressive move there, but successful. Wow, what the hell? What happened there? Ooh, the pillbox was low health. So just like that, yeah, this War Factory is dead. Probably service depots seem to follow. Those MCVs didn't pay off in the slightest. This was a stomp in Game 2. Game 1, yeah, that was just 2 unfortunate games for Happy back-to-back. His aggression being curb stomped, being used against him, because Orb always just managed to find the perfect timings to counter it, and the Ranger. The Ranger danger. The Orb, by the way, the original inventor of the Ranger danger build. I did a similar Ranger danger build way earlier, but that was different because I went for triple engineers in the Rangers and it was super greedy and cheesy. But he just yeah, the original inventor of 3 Ranger openers with no passengers. That's Orb. Anyway, fantastic game. This is only the beginning though, because now the others, that means Pancho, Sedix Ganon, have to duke it out, and then we're gonna look towards Orb versus Sedix Ganon and Happy versus Pancho, and that's gonna determine their placements in the playoffs. And then we're gonna have the entire series of matches all over again, but with higher stakes, which I'm super hyped about because those 4 are right now, they've proven that they're the top dogs. So all of those are rightfully and deservedly here in the playoffs. Let's see how this goes. See you next time. Thanks for watching. 5 Aces out.
Battle control terminated.